And the referee for today's match, Chris Kavanagh, the man in the middle. Greeting there between the goalkeepers. What a week he's had, Martinez on international duty in that highly charged international with Brazil during the middle of the week. So he's certainly got a few air miles.
Some character, isn't he? Making his 200th appearance for Aston Villa today as well.
Some big character and some goalkeeper though as well.
Excellent goalkeeper.
And an FA Cup winner, of course, with Arsenal in 2020. Played in that final when they beat Chelsea by 2-1. Tim Robinson, by the way, is on VAR duty today. Preston North End hoping to reach the semi-final of the FA Cup for the first time since 1964. And they went on to the final and were beaten by West Ham United. Away we go, and it is Preston North End who get the game underway in the white shirts. Villa in their traditional claret and blue. And a real cup atmosphere, sun shining, balloons floating around on the pitch, silver foil FA Cups being waved in the crowd. And we have got two of the oldest clubs of them all here in this quarter-final. Two founder members of the Football League.
Some noise, some atmosphere at Deepdale.
Some challenge for Paul Heckingbottom and his team, though, isn't it, Matt? I mean, he has been forced into reshuffling his pack quite considerably. Yeah,
it's been a difficult week for him, and then losing Freddie Woodman late on as well in training is a big blow for him. It was interesting, actually, in the build-up, he said about the league position, they've had too many draws in the Championship, but I'll tell you what, he'll probably take one today.
Well, Unai Emery, what a job he's done with Aston Villa. What a big couple of months coming up for him and his team on all fronts. Paris Saint-Germain very much on the horizon in the quarterfinals of the Champions League, as well as this, and a very tough run in the Premier League too.
Yeah, and that's why I was really interested in seeing his team selection, but how strong an 11 is it? And actually, when you look at his bench as well, how strong a squad is it?
That's a poor pass there by Luca Digne, giving the ball away. Preston claiming there was a foul inside the box, and Digne now picks out Jacob Ramsey. Preston screams for an early penalty kick there, and Villa putting themselves under pressure as Mings gets the ball away. Encouragement for the Championship side as Robbie Brady collects and sends it back. It's in the possession of Jordan Storey, but not for long. Villa have a free kick, but all eyes on the referee early on in the match here.
Yeah, there's been a couple of mistakes actually from Aston Villa, looking to play out from the back. It's high pressure from Preston. They've started the game quickly, they've started on the front foot. Uritin just pulls out the challenge, and there's no penalty there. Chris Kavanagh gets that absolutely right.
Yeah, Tielemans colliding with Will Keane, who was one of the goal scorers in the last round. The 3-0 win against local rivals Burnley.
Balloons aren't helping, are they?
Here's Mings, away to Cash on the far side. Esri Konsa had a good couple of matches for England during the international break, starting both of them. Looking very assured as Kamara sends it forward down the far side. Cash is looking for Rashford in the middle.
I think the first job for Aston Villa was to try and quieten the crowd, because it is such a raucous atmosphere. The way they do that is by keeping possession like they are now. Early on, Preston really quick to get at Aston Villa.
Run forward made by Morgan Rogers, who just checked back to ensure that he was onside. The width being provided further forward here by Digne. Well, Asensio scored both of the goals against Cardiff City in the 5th round at Villa Park and has made an outstanding impact. 7 goals in 8 appearances since arriving on loan from Paris Saint-Germain. I think Villa very keen to make that move permanent during the summer.
We're all interested as well with Aston Villa as to exactly how they would line up. Weren't sure whether Rashford would be off the left and would it be a false 9 with Asensio. It does look like Rashford's through the middle, Ramsey off the left, Rodgers off the right, and Asensio as the number 10.
That was one of the key factors for Asensio when he spoke to Emery before making the move to Birmingham, was the fact that Unai Emery was selling to him the position that he wanted him to play, and it was the position Asensio's always wanted to play in, but has often not really had that opportunity to do so. Well, Paul Heckingbottom's team have played 4 matches since the 5th round win over Burnley. They got a win against Portsmouth last week. They managed to draw against Swansea and also against Sunderland on the road. Beaten just the once since the 5th round. 1-0 defeat at high-flying Sheffield United, Heckingbottom's former club. So form's really good. They've only lost about 3 of the last 16, Preston. Here's Jacob Ramsey. And now Digne, who was preferred to Maatsen today. Digne continues his run. He'll collect the pass here from Tielemans. Preston's players looking for an offside. Mattered not anyway in the end.
Well, I think that position in this Aston Villa side requires you almost to be a winger in possession, doesn't it? That left-back position. Maatsen's done it recently. Digne the same. Loves to get forward.
It's an interesting one, isn't it? Of course, Aston Villa are strong favourites to go through, but worth reiterating, Preston unbeaten in the last 15 games across all competitions on this pitch. They've won 6 and drew the other 9. They haven't conceded more than 1 goal in any match during that run.
That's incredible, isn't it? And they have beaten Premier League opposition here this season, albeit on penalties against Fulham.
Let's not go there yet, Matt. The dreaded P word.
Far too early to worry about that.
Yeah, the longest ever penalty shootout in the history of the League Cup. 17-16 they won. Throw in here taken by Reece, the centre forward, and Martinez saw that one all the way. Of course, they'd long gone before that was sent goal. Attempted throw, catching Will Keane.
Yeah, he's such a confident goalkeeper, isn't he? Emi Martinez won't be fazed by this atmosphere. He's played in plenty worse.
It'll give him a nice little warm-up for when he heads to Paris in the Champions League, which I'm sure he's looking forward to. Pressure there on Ramsey. He found himself in a tight spot for a moment or two, but did rather well to extract himself from it, and Camara sent it on, and Cash gallops forward with Rodgers on the far side. Still a couple of dozen balloons in and around the Preston penalty area. This is Asensio, and now Digne. Villa yet to test Cornell. Is that about to change as it goes in towards Asensio in the penalty area? Free kick for the home side.
High boot from Morgan Rodgers. Just catching Jordan Story. Bloom's definitely not making it easy for the players.
Rodgers didn't get a chance to get his boot high there. Big game for Jordan Story coming back in. He's been out since the end of January. He returned to the bench last week. Did play in the 3rd round of the Cup, but they've had to put him in the team today. There's Mings. Ramsey dropping back, gaining ground, plenty of it, and fouled right under the referee's nose there.
Brilliant from Jacob Ramsey, and actually he's been so clever in the early stages, just drifting in off that left-hand side into a more central position, getting himself on the half-turn and putting Aston Villa on the attack. Look how he takes that on the back foot, and immediately he's running at the Preston defence.
Yeah, Torderson just couldn't resist having a little nibble at his ankles there. Torderson, who was outstanding against Burnley in the 5th round. Icelandic international, got the winning goal last week in the Championship as well. They beat Portsmouth by 2-1.
Because Rashford's got his eyes on this one. Yet to score since signing for Aston Villa.
Remember a free kick from a similar position a few weeks ago that he took against Ipswich Town, which cannoned off the crossbar.
Thanks for reminding me.
first opportunity to test Di Cornell. Rashford's the man for this free kick. And it's a very comfortable save indeed.
First test, comes through it nicely. As you say, a reasonably comfortable save. Just bouncing in front of him made it more difficult.
Yeah, Di Cornell, who celebrated his 34th birthday only on Friday. A couple of appearances in the Championship this season. That was back in November. The majority of his appearances in his career have come in League Two. They actually signed him from Peterborough a little while ago. Here come Villa now with the opportunity as Rodgers sends it across in towards Rashford. Sturdy defending by Andrew Hughes. And North End will have more defending to do now from a set play.
Yeah, this will frustrate Paul Heckingbottom because they're looking to be compact. They're playing with a back five. They shouldn't be able to get one long ball over the top in behind that Preston defence.
And it was Story that was playing them onside. Rashford across to take the corner kick. The deflection on that delivery from Digne. The opportunity for Tordosen to get it away. Looking for Keane. Has he got the legs to get away from Cash? Not quite. And Villa get a free kick.
Preston looking to spring defence into attack quickly. Cash coming across and doing the defending. A little shove from Emirates gives Aston Villa the free kick.
There's Asensio into Digne. Ramsey lets it run. Gibson with a little short ball forward. Now Brady. Little layoff from Reece. Brady just coming back from an offside position.
I think what Preston have to work out is when and when not to press. Because of the atmosphere, because of the noise, the players are looking to try and get on the front foot and close Aston Villa down quickly, but they've got to be a little bit careful because Aston Villa have got the quality to play through them, as we've seen on a couple of occasions already.
Here's Ramsey, who's seen plenty of the ball so far in the match in the opening dozen minutes or so. He's getting a good run in the team, actually, Ramsey, in terms of successive appearances, because the last sort of 18 months or so, perhaps a little bit longer, he's had a lot of injury issues that have sort of halted his progress. It was interesting that Thomas Tuchel mentioned him ahead of the international matches a couple of weeks ago as somebody who he was very much aware of, who wasn't too far away. And Rashford now. Ramsey's in the middle. Villa will have another corner.
They've been able, Aston Villa, to get down the sides of Preston quite easily and in behind them. The movement's been really good. You see Rashford just drifting from that central position out to the right on this occasion. They've been able to get in behind the Preston defence too easily for Paul Heckingbottom's liking.
To McPhee there, Aston Villa's set play coach. Can they conjure up here? Not a lot, because Will Keane gets his head to it. Back out to Asensio. It's a nice ball in towards Ezri Konsa.
What a ball. The first corner was dealt with pretty easily. His touch and delivery here is perfection. Concert, well, he'll think he should have done better.
That was a chance, wasn't it?
It's a big chance. It's a sunny day, but it's quite windy. Ball swirling around. Maybe that affected Ezri Konsa, but that was a big chance.
Header forward by Jordan Story. Interception made by Asensio. Here's Camara. Got the space over on the far side for Cash. He'll love that. He was back on international duty over the last couple of weeks, Cash, with Poland. Flick forward by Rodgers, not coming off. It's Asensio's pass into Rodgers. Picking out Ramsey, and now Digne. Striding through the balloons. Rashford.
It's been a frantic start to the game, starting to settle into a pattern of Aston Villa dominating the ball. Preston looking to counter when they get the opportunity.
Back with Digne. Brady helps to tidy up. Story sends it on its way. He's getting in tight on Reece. Here's Tielemans, who scored the winner in the FA Cup final 4 years ago for Leicester City. Konsa. Asensio made the move, but it's collected here by Mads Frøkjær Jensen. Tielemans challenging just outside the penalty area. Again, referee was in a good spot there, but no foul awarded. It's Megoma trying to run into the penalty area to receive the pass, and Ben Whiteman actually. No whistle from referee Kavanagh. Megoma left a little bit frustrated, the loanee from Brentford in the Premier League, playing on the left-hand side of Preston's back line. Konsa. Now Cash. Preston's players absolutely roared to the rafters every time they get over the halfway line. The offside flag has gone up anyway there. Yeah, this is Ramsey.
This is where they do have to be careful, because the crowd are so up. They want them to press, but when they press, Villa have got this quality to play through them. Okay, he's offside on this occasion, but that's something that Preston have to be aware of, because look at that, that's 3 versus 2 at the back.
Will he be reasonably happy so far?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you'd have expected a fast start from Preston. They've said in the build-up to this game that they're going to make it a scrap, they're going to make it difficult for Aston Villa. There's a good atmosphere, but they've settled and they're starting to dominate the ball.
Ramsey. Rashford coming short. You can see Aston Villa with just over 3/4 of the possession so far.
I don't expect that to change much over the course of the game. It's just what Preston can do when they win it.
Yeah, exactly, and Villa certainly haven't tested Di Cornell so far in Preston's goal. Bit of space here for Stefan Tordersen, and that was on the optimistic side, but...
Yeah, I mean, I said that it depends on what Preston can do when they win the ball. They turn it over and they've got plenty of bodies in forward positions, but it's just decision-making. Shooting from that distance is not the right decision.
Here come Villa, lovely play from Morgan Rodgers, and still, and finally, Hughes has the final say. One little shimmy too many there from Villa's number 27. This is Jordan's Story into Brady. Just kept in. Reece closely marked by Konsa. And back with Tyrone Mings. Here's Cash again with a lot of space on that far side. Rashford had made the run ahead of him. This is Tielemans. Now Digne. To Ramsey, and free kick for Aston Villa.
And quickly again from Jacob Ramsey. And two wide players for Aston Villa, two full-backs should I say. Luca Digne and Matty Cash are seeing plenty of the ball. Robbie Brady and Jayden Magoma unsure when to go and press.
So Story concedes a free kick. Second one within range of this first half. The first one taken by Marcus Rashford straight to the goalkeeper.
Looks favourite for this one as well. Maybe Youri Tielemans will take charge.
Blue wall of travelling spectators behind that goal. Digne can strike them well. Referee Kavanagh is now happy. And it is Digne, who we have seen strike them a little better than that.
Yeah, not his best effort. Looking to bend that round the wall. Too much on it.
Watching Preston, two-time winners of the FA Cup, not since 1938, finalists in 1964. Aston Villa, despite their lofty presence in the upper reaches of the Premier League at the moment, haven't won a trophy themselves for quite a while, almost 30 years. It's 1996, the League Cup final. They beat Leeds United. So it's been a while for them too.
Yeah, they feel as though this is a good opportunity though this season. Aston Villa, looking at how the FA Cup has unfolded.
So Stuart McCall there on the touchline a moment or two ago. A sort of feisty presence in midfield that maybe Preston could do with, given the number of injuries they've got at the moment. A player who had a good career. It's with Konsa, and he's still now doing so as well on the coaching staff. Digne. Missed a little bit of time in February with a hamstring injury. Made a couple of appearances since his return before this one. Villa forced all the way back to Martinez. It's the first of three big matches inside the next week for Unai Emery's team. They're away to Brighton on Wednesday in the Premier League, and then next Saturday they host Nottingham Forest. Two massive games against teams around them in the Premier League table. The ball from Ramsey's an excellent one, picking out Digne, who can't in turn find Marcus Rashford, and that's a lovely bit of play from Tordarson initially as Brady dinks it forward, takes the return. Just in a little behind Jensen.
Fullbacks have been the spare men for Aston Villa. The way that Preston have set up, they're trying to make it really congested in the middle of the pitch, but they're leaving the wide areas, and it's the two fullbacks are seeing plenty of it. Jacob Ramsey's been clever as well with his movement off the left-hand side to open up the space for Luca Digne on the left.
We've certainly got all the ingredients for a terrific cut tie here. The weather, the crowd, the championship side at home to Premier League opposition. Villa get the free kick, and Konsa was just waiting for that little nudge from behind there, I think.
Read the situation well. Good first touch. Felt the contact, went down.
Just past the midway point of the first half. Camera. Challenged by Keane. Sliding in was Hughes. Cash trying to bring Rodgers into the play. It doesn't fall for Asensio. Clearance made by Lewis Gibson. In towards Will Keane. Marked by Konsa. Torderson. Gibson. This is a bit better from Preston North End. This is Nagoma up against Camera. White shirts gathering around the Villa penalty area. And Cash safely sees it behind.
Yeah, that was better from Preston. They kept the ball nicely. Just that decision making again. Once they get into the final third, what they're going to do with it.
Talking of final third, the final third, Matt. Oh, there's Brian Little in the middle of the picture there, former Aston Villa striker, working for the club's official match commentary team today. In that final third, Villa haven't actually tested Di Cornell in the Preston goal at all, have they, so far, for all the possession that they've had?
No, just that Marcus Rashford free kick that was a fairly comfortable save for him. Can't think of anything else. Emery want Asensio on the ball more. He's a player that can really open up a defence.
There's Cash. Missed the last couple of rounds with injury issues. Camera making himself available. Hustled, outmanoeuvred, and Stefan Torderson there losing possession in the middle third, and Villa able to break with Tielemans. There'll be a card here for Keane.
There's been a few of those when Aston Villa have got away on the half turn and started to attack the Preston back line, and then just been nicked from behind. Cynical from Will Keane.
He didn't give the referee any alternative there, did he? Quite clearly just clipping Yuri Tielemans. So into the book, the Republic of Ireland international. Villa deciding which of the plans from the playbook they'll try for this time. Fair old distance. Rashford going for that, drilling it into the area of the ball, but I think it was Tyrone Mings who deflects it behind.
Yeah, didn't catch it like he wanted to, Marcus Rashford. I think it was probably going well wide anyway.
The pressure there on Gibson, and cleared away by Andrew Hughes. He's challenged by Cash. Men over here for Preston North End as Torderson Brings Robbie Brady into the game. That's a really good-looking cross and an excellent save there by Martinez, and a chance that ends up going wide of the goal from Stefan Torderson.
And Preston's best moment of the first half. And no shock it's come from the quality of Robbie Brady. Space on this right-hand side for him. You know he wants to get it back onto his left foot. And he delivers a really teasing ball. But Jamie Martinez has to travel a long way to come and get something on it. He's out of the goal, but there's plenty of Aston Villa bodies behind the ball to deal with the trouble. He's just woken up the home crowd again.
Cash, faced by Magoma. Konsa. The crowd in fine voice, encouraged by the last few minutes. Cash. Now Asensio. Picking out Rogers. Dino is well forward on the near side. Rashford in the middle with Jacob Ramsey nearby. Tielemans. Brings with the delivery. And Camera finds Matty Cash. And that's a really important interception there to put the ball behind for a corner. Excellent from Andrew Hughes, just as Rashford was getting ready to potentially pounce.
Yeah, talked about the fullbacks for Aston Villa and how they're causing Preston the biggest problems. Look at the space that Matty Cash has got again. Time to pick out the delivery.
And Whiteman able to deflect that one behind. Asensio will try again. Into the goalkeeper's grill, and this time it's punched behind by Di Cornell.
Yeah, not easy conditions for balls like that being whipped underneath your crossbar. Dealt with that one well.
From Asensio once more, rather more straightforward header away on this occasion. Patient approach from Aston Villa so far in this match.
Yeah, it has. You can understand that. You say the primary focus would have been to try and quieten this crowd. And kept the ball pretty well on the whole. Difficult conditions.
Ramsey. Good interception that made there by Mads Broker Jensen. Preston with the opportunity to burst forward here. Torderson. Brady available on the near side. Reese Waits in the middle. Will Keane's in there as well. A lot of pressure put on Tyrone Mings. Little nudge on Dean. No foul. Kept in by Brady. Excellent play from him. Story finding Gibson. And safety first from him.
Another decent ball in from Robbie Brady. Playing on the right-hand side today. Got that willingness to come inside on his left foot and deliver a ball in towards the goalkeeper. And it was Tyrone Mings that defended it brilliantly at the near post.
Brady's done well again there, keeping the ball in, and Mings across. Digne keeps the ball in play. Yuri Tielemans trying to get away from Torderson and does so. Encouraging little spell this for Preston North End. Championship side, although Villa have had most of the possession so far in the game, they've been kept at arm's length for the most part. forget as well that Preston North End side has been affected by injuries, by suspensions, by ineligibility, including Ken Kessler-Hayden, who's on loan from Aston Villa and has been a very good player for them this season.
Do you know, I was just going to say, you asked me if Unai Emery would have been happy with the first sort of 25 minutes, half an hour, and I said yes, I think he would have been, because his team have kept the ball pretty well. But I think Paul Heckingbottom, likewise, will be delighted with the effort, the application, because, as you say, there's so many problems coming into this. He's not moaned about it, he's not groaned about it, he's got on with it, he's picked a team that he thinks can get a result.
Martinez to clip the ball away to Cash, and keeps it from the clutches of Rees, and that's a good-looking ball into Morgan Rogers. McGovern does brilliantly there. Excellent defending.
Oh, what a recovery. It's as though Rogers was away. Somehow he got back and made the challenge.
Look on Rogers' face there, I think he thought he was away too. Jayden Nagoma, 18 years of age, the left-back, an England under-19 international. Known from Brentford, for whom he has actually made 4 appearances in total, one of them in the Premier League. Latest Villa corner. Not quite sure whether that was what Marco Asensio had in mind. Whatever it was, Preston North End said thanks very much, but a little too much there, I think, was asked of Rees.
Yeah, set pieces haven't been the greatest so far for Aston Villa. Asensio's delivery generally has been on the goalkeeper, who's been able to deal with it. And then that one got horribly wrong as well.
Going long this time, and Rashford able to get there first ahead of Jordan Storey. Support arriving. Here's Cash. Headed away by Brady and then by Keane. Rogers. There's Tielemans, and now Digne. 2 alarm bells ringing for Preston at the back, but Robbie Brady's there to block.
Yeah, probably guilty of being too close to his 3 centre-backs there, Robbie Brady. Too slow getting out. Tight to Luca Digne, but still was able to make the block.
Comes from Marcus Rashford into that far post area, and then just peeling off, trying to get his head on it, was Konsa.
Plenty on that one, Ezri Konsa. Had a big opportunity earlier in the half where he didn't get much on it. This time he does.
Just the 1 goal so far this season for Ezri Konsa.
It's a cup tie that's flown by.
And so far so good from North End's point of view as well. Good blow for them losing Freddie Woodman, their goalkeeper, probably for the rest of the season, we're hearing, with an ankle injury. Tielemans picks out Digne. But so far it's been steady from Di Cornell, Woodman's replacement. Cash. Cameron. Pressure on Konsa in possession there at all. Cash with a little interchange with Rogers, but Nagoma is quick on his feet, as we've seen already in this match. Being harassed and forced back as Greece tries to put some pressure on Konsa, who is too cute for him there with that little piece of skill. Digne. Ramsey making the run, trying to get in behind Story and managing it. Asensio. Here's Marco Asensio. Again, not finding Marcus Rashford this time. Only half cleared, though, by the home defence, and Mings once more. A little bit cagey 5 minutes before half-time. As Kamara floats it in towards Morgan Rogers. But again, really comfortable gather there for Cornell.
Yeah, that last couple of minutes is probably the pattern I expected the majority of this first half to take, with Preston being really compact, really deep, allowing Aston Villa to have good possession at the back, not leaving space in behind.
Into Ramsey as Villa look to break. He's away from Torderson, and the pass picks out Marcus Rashford, and that's a really important interception made there by Mads Froke Jensen. Rogers. Now he's away from Nagoma this time. Challenge coming in on him from behind, and a slight misunderstanding between Rogers and Cash.
He's looking for a bit more movement from Matty Cash. First time we've really seen Morgan Rogers actually get on the half turn and drive forward.
Doesn't look overly enamoured, does he, Unai Emery, at the moment?
No, I think the first half he won't be too disappointed with. I said earlier that I look at the squad, the starting 11, the bench, it's so strong, he's got so many options, players returning from injury. The deeper this game goes, you feel as though that depth that Aston Villa have got will pay dividends.
Martinez away, a little too long for Morgan Rogers. Thing with Preston North End this season, 14th in the Championship, is the number of matches they've drawn. They're really tough to beat, but they just haven't won enough games. They've only won 10 in the league, but they've lost 11. They've drawn 17. Only West Brom, with 18, have drawn more games in the Championship this season. It's a massive difference.
Absolutely. The evidence today shows they're a tough side to beat. Not an easy team to play against. I guess it's the quality in the final third, isn't it? Who's going to score you the goals? Who's going to be the match winner? And maybe that's something where they've just lacked a little bit.
It's been a largely incident and injury-free opening half. We're not expecting any additional time here as Reece puts it into the box. Looked dangerous for a moment there, but it was all hands on deck for the visitors, who managed to get the ball away, and it comes towards Konsa again. Hands on with Will Keane, collected by Robbie Brady, and the flag has gone up on the near side.
a scramble. I think they're doing their best to clear, but unable to do so.
It was as soon as Brady got involved in the game again. And a free kick conceded by Will Keane. Typical nursery concert.
Needs to be careful.
Keane, by the way, has already been booked, just to remind you. So he's skating on thin ice going forward.
Yeah, it does need to be careful. It was that challenge on Tielemans, wasn't it, earlier in the first half?
Oh, that looked a painful one on the Achilles. Did you see the studs there, Matt, right down the back of Hans's sock?
Yeah, knee in the hamstring as well. Thankfully, back on his feet.
That'll do it. There goes the half-time whistle. Cheers all round from the home stands, because Preston North End of the Championship are right in this FA Cup quarter-final tie. Yet to make the breakthrough in this one. Chris Kavanagh, the referee, gets us underway at the start of the second half. Cash has it for Aston Villa. No changes made by either manager at half-time. John McGinn, Aston Villa's club captain, among those limbering up during the break. Maybe we might see him at some point.
Yeah, I wonder how long it is before Emery decides to change things up, because I don't think it's necessarily worked at the top end of the pitch with Marcus Rashford through the middle. I still feel as though his best position is out on the left-hand side. I think he prefers to come from that position rather than starting out through the middle. Whether Ollie Watkins maybe gets that job and then shifts Rashford out to the left.
We were just saying, though, weren't we? Every game's a big game for Villa at the moment. They've got this followed by Brighton in midweek away, then Nottingham Forest at home next weekend, and then it's the first leg of the Champions League quarter-final against Paris Saint-Germain, and it goes on.
Makes it difficult, doesn't it, to be consistent with your team selection, because you're always looking to chop and change, give players a rest, try and rotate them, and that can sometimes have an effect on the harmony of your side.
Here's Rodgers. And Camera finding a little bit of space, and there's been plenty of that for Matty Cash during the game so far. Often as not, every time he receives possession. This is Asensio being rather manhandled there by Frokia. Here's Mings. Looking for the forward run made by Luca Digne. He's got his team a corner there. Villa with the opportunity to put North End under some early second half pressure.
Luca Digne just checked his run. Whether it was just trying to make the block for this pass where the little touch came from. I think that's what's being given by Chris Kavanagh.
Rashford going short with it this time. Delivery beyond everybody, and Rodgers looking at the referee saying, well, there was a bit of a nudge on me there inside the penalty area.
Well, they've tried to do something different from this first set piece, Aston Villa. But again, the delivery not good enough. Set pieces have been disappointing for Aston Villa so far.
Scored a goal in rounds 3 and 4, Morgan Rodgers. Villa at home in all 3 rounds prior to this one, beating West Ham, Tottenham and Cardiff City. Here's Mings. The header on by Whiteman. Cash intercepts. That was Tielemans into Asensio, who was pretty close to setting Rashford away. Brady leaving that one for Jordan Story. Whiteman sending it forward, straight onto the head of Mings. This is Brady once more, and Torderson. Free kick conceded.
Ironic cheers. The Preston fans feel as though decisions have gone against them by and large so far today. He scored a free kick against Burnley in the last round, Robbie Brady.
He wouldn't have scored many better goals in his entire career, I should think.
So I don't think he'll be shooting from here.
Can Preston create something here to put Martinez under some pressure? Brady's ball is short, up into the air off the boot of Whiteman, and Digne's header away. Collected by Rees. Nicely done. Brady able to collect. Tight little space there, but it's excellent play from the Championship side. Back it comes towards Rees, and Boubacar Kamara there for Aston Villa to help to tidy up. But again, Villa lose possession on the far side for the second time in about 25 seconds. Preston North End's confidence will grow the longer this game wears on at 0-0. Forward off the boot of Hughes, collected by Jaden Megoma. It's Gibson back into Story. And now Brady. With a decent looking ball into Emile Rees. Will Keane is up there in the middle. Cash with the header away. Digne's challenged. Aston Villa have a throw.
And Preston have started the brighter of the two sides at the start of this second half. They come out the blocks pretty quickly.
Throw in from Digne is going to come straight back towards the Villa defence, and Kamara though steps in, can't really get it clear, but Rodgers able to collect the loose ball. Asensio to his right, Rashford to his left, and still it's Rodgers, and now it's Rashford who gets it caught under his feet and cannot finish it off, and Di Cornell gratefully drops on the ball.
That's a big opportunity for Aston Villa on the break. They never felt as though they had it totally under control, the situation. Morgan Rodgers driving at the defence, felt as though he probably held on to it too long. Eventually he does get his ball through to Rashford, and again he sort of scrambles before getting his shot away. Another good save actually from Di Cornell, quickly off his line to smother. Got a good leg on it.
He's played pretty well, hasn't he, for Villa, Rashford, in the relatively limited time he's had on the pitch since his arrival. A number of his appearances have come off the bench, but just needs a goal. Megoma gets the better of Asensio. Free kick, Preston North End.
Got a bit lucky there, Megoma. Ball ran away from him.
Pace of this match has gone up a notch or two.
Probably suits Aston Villa, to be honest, because you just saw that opportunity they had on the counter. Preston leaving space at the back, but they're a bit more adventurous at the start of this second half. First half I thought they were more compact, made it difficult for Aston Villa to find too much space, but Aston Villa will probably relish the fact that they're coming at them a little bit more.
Yeah, I think so. Preston are much further up the pitch, aren't they, at the start of the second half? which I think is what Villa were trying to entice them to do during the opening 45 minutes. Cleared by Emiliano Martinez. Unai Emery considering whether to make a change or two. More on that in a moment. Here comes Rashford now, with Rodgers alongside him. Rashford just showed a little too much of that, and he was challenged by Tordarson. And referee Chris Kavanagh, with a shrill blow on the whistle, then heads back to just check on Ben Whiteman as well.
Again, Aston Villa are able to counter-attack, and at pace as well. They've got the players that can really exploit those spaces. Coming back for that head injury. And again, he looks like he's going to be okay, which is good news.
So, having checked on the head injury, the possible head injury to Ben Whiteman, away we go once more with Cash. Chance to deliver a decent-looking ball. And bags of time for Brady to just safely see that one behind for a goal kick. With the header away, sent forward by Jordan Storey. Here's Brady looking to cause some mischief deep in the Villa half, and Camara again tidies up. He's getting through plenty of work there alongside Tielemans.
I think he's been excellent today. Just shielding the back line, always available.
I saw reports this week that Villa were looking to start negotiations over a new contract with him. They're keen to get him signed up going forward, and you can see why. What a great clearance from Emi Martinez. Cash gets in there ahead of Frokjer Jensen, and now Matty Cash. Second best on that occasion against Jadon Nagoma, who again used his pace.
He's got a real turn of pace, hasn't he, Jadon Nagoma? Matty Cash was favourite to get there first, but he just went up a gear, didn't he?
Camara rather hoping for a free kick, nothing doing from referee Kavanagh. First quarter-final for Preston North End since 1966. The player in the middle there with the white t-shirt on in the grey hoodie is Kane Kessler-Hayden, who's been really good for Preston North End this season, on loan from Aston Villa. Therefore ineligible to play in this one today.
I wonder who wants to win this one.
Well, I'm sure he wouldn't mind a run out potentially at Wembley. Here's Jacob Ramsey. Good challenge on him, but claret and blue shirts all around the ball, and Asensio sends it forward, and via Ramsey it's collected by Luca Digne into Marcus Rashford, who scores his first goal for Aston Villa and breaks the deadlock in this FA Cup quarter-final tie. And finally Villa turn their dominant possession throughout most of the match into something more tangible.
Well, Marcus Rashford needed it, Aston Villa needed it. Start the second half, Preston had been on the front foot, but I said if they're going to press higher, it could cause them one or two problems, because Aston Villa have got the quality to exploit that, and that's exactly what they do. It's a pretty simple finish for Marcus Rashford in the end. The two full-backs for Aston Villa have seen plenty of the ball, Matty Cash and Luca Digne. And again, it's the left full back this time that delivers the cross to Rashford, and he's got a simple task of slotting home. More space, and Aston Villa have exploited it brilliantly.
And it's Preston North End 0, Aston Villa 1, with half an hour to go at Deepdale. And Marcus Rashford has his first goal in a Villa shirt.
And it comes with Ollie Watkins warming up as well on the touchline, getting himself ready to come on. Whether that'll affect Unai Emery's decision now, we'll wait and see, but he's got his goal. He's been after that for quite some time.
What about Preston here now, though, Matt? They've got to come out and have a go, but they've also got to be careful that they don't leave even more spaces.
Like that.
It's Asensio into Rashford. Rodgers is in the middle, others arriving too. Rashford, and still it's in, and Rodgers can't turn it home. The little touch from Jacob Ramsey. How on earth is that not 2-0?
I don't quite know, to be honest. Brilliant from Rashford again.
Rodgers here will go for the return from Jacob Ramsey. Camera, there was a challenge on Rodgers, penalty. Chris Kavanagh just took a second to think about it. He will, of course, also hear from Tim Robinson in the earpiece, the video assistant referee. Let's have a look here.
Well, it's all unravelled pretty quickly for Preston. Aston Villa got themselves ahead.
It goes on the top of Rodgers' boot here.
Yeah, he kicks him, doesn't he? And Chris Kavanagh sees it. This won't get overturned. He nicks it ahead of Hughes. This is the other opportunity. Two big chances.
So Rodgers, painful moment for him, and also for Hughes there, the defender who trod on the top of his boot. Change coming up for Preston North End, by the way. Osmajic is going to come on shortly to replace Will Keane, but Aston Villa with an opportunity here to give themselves a little bit of daylight in this tie if they can find the back of the net. Test here for Di Cornell. Encouraged back to his goal line by the referee. Can Aston Villa double their lead in double quick time around the hour mark? It's Marcus Rashford against Di Cornell, and it's 2-0! Two quick goals from Villa's number 9. Has the travelling fans dreaming of Wembley.
Emphatic from Marcus Rashford. You wait months for a goal and two come along in the space of a couple of minutes. Really cool finish. Sends Cornell the wrong way, waits for the goalkeeper to move and side foots it the other way, and this quick cut tight has turned really quickly.
That was a real game of cat and mouse there, wasn't it? As he headed towards the ball and pondered before placing it into the corner of the net. Marcus Rashford at the double. Preston North End 0, Aston Villa 2, and Osmajic is off the bench for Keane. Milutin Osmajic, the international from Montenegro, recently charged by the FA for making alleged racist remarks to Hannibal of Burnley in a league match. the deadline for his response was extended from the 25th of March, so that's why he's available for the match today. So Osmaic on, but suddenly Preston North End with it all to do here, Matt.
Yeah, and this has got the ability to unravel really quickly for Preston. The way this second half unfolded, right from the off, you felt as though they were probably a fraction ambitious. The way they tried to press Aston Villa higher. Aston Villa in the first half enjoyed it when they tried to press because they could utilise the spare man, find space, and as soon as they've done that at the start of this second half, Aston Villa have punished them.
Here's Tielemans.
And the danger is that they've got to open up even more now to try and find a way back into the game.
Digne. Cash in lots of space on the near side. Tielemans sending it forward in towards Rashford, who of course very suddenly is on a hat-trick here. A combo with Ramsey, an important interception there by Story, collected by Tordarson. Brady hooks it away. Osmaic putting himself about, making sure that Preston North End retain possession for the time being.
And the other difficulty for Preston is to try and find the energy levels as well, because it's really difficult not to have the ball, and Aston Villa have dominated it and they've chased hard, but there's bound to be some tired legs.
Well, Preston have lost 18 of their last 19 FA Cup games against teams from the top flight over the years, and at the moment it's heading in that direction again. Still time to do something about it though. 25 minutes.
Yeah, but on the balance of what we've seen so far, I feel as though that's going to be really difficult for Paul Heckingbottom's side.
Yeah, things were looking very different just over 5 minutes ago for those fans. And as you'd expect, all the noise at the moment is coming from the end occupied by the Villa supporters as Camara and Asensio combine. And well, there's something you don't see very often. Marco Asensio passing it straight to the opposition. Jayden Magoma continuing his duel with Matty Cash. It's pace against a bit more experience there between those two. Not that Cash is a slouch by any stretch. Camara being put under pressure there by Frocke Jensen. They're looking to play themselves out of a very tight corner indeed. Asensio's touch into Camara. Rodgers upended. Be a free kick and a booking as well. Whiteman, the latest to have his name taken. Not that long back from injury, actually. Ben Whiteman missed a couple of months from early January. But I think he knew he was struggling to get close to Rodgers and could ill afford to let him go scampering up the field. Three-quarters of the way through the match. It's Jacob Ramsey going down on the edge of the penalty area. One back by Rashford. Here's Ramsey. Seen some nice touches from Jacob Ramsey during the match. They're still on the attack here. Tielemans. Camara. Well, it's a happier end of the ground than it was at half-time or about 10 minutes ago, occupied by the Villa supporters. I think weren't duly unhappy with the way that their team had played in the first half. Patience was key from their point of view, but
you know what it's like as a supporter of a team, though. You always panic, you always worry about the outcome of a match, no matter who you're up against. But I do feel as though they've controlled it pretty well today, Aston Villa. Controlled the emotion of the game, the atmosphere. They've dealt with that well by keeping possession.
A great record over the years overall in the FA Cup with 7 wins, but not for a long, long time. 1957, the last time Villa won it. More recently, it's been pretty wretched in the Cup, actually. Here's Marcus Rashford. Villa going out in the 3rd round in 7 of the last 8 years before this one. But here now is Morgan Rogers bringing the save from Cornell.
Preston not happy. They thought Marcus Rashford was offside in the initial ball over the top. Play was allowed to continue. That was tight. Probably just about kept himself on. But the first run from Marcus Rashford, I think Preston felt it was offside.
Frokje Jensen can't get past Cash. Here now is Tordarson. 20 minutes for Preston North End to try to get back into this tie against their Premier League opponents. They could do with a goal sooner rather than later. Just give themselves a little bit of momentum, get the crowd going again, put Villa under a bit of pressure, because at the moment Villa's position looks utterly dominant. Nicely done, Jacob Ramsey. Quite a surge of pace. Super play. What a finish. Brilliant. That's outstanding from Jacob Ramsey. 3-0 Aston Villa. And if there was any doubt before the ball hit the net a few seconds ago, surely there can't be now. The semi-final awaits for Unai Emery and his team.
Well, it's been a ruthless second half display from Aston Villa. 3 goals in the last 13 minutes, 2 from Marcus Rashford, and this peach from Jacob Ramsey. He's done this so well, gets himself on a half turn and drives at the back line. He actually goes through Di Cornell, and he'll maybe think he should have done a bit better once he got his hands to it. But a surging run, plenty of power on the effort, too much power for the goalkeeper. A blistering 13-minute spell from the visitors.
So, changes being made here. Yuri Tielemans making way for Aston Villa. So John McGinn coming on and will take over as the captain, with Yuri Tielemans having left the field. There's Amadou Onana coming on. Marco Asensio makes way. Onana not long back from injury, so an opportunity for him to stretch his legs for the final quarter of an hour of this one. Big money signing for Villa last summer, of course, the Belgian international. Daniel Marlon on for Morgan Rogers as well. He's had a busy season, hasn't he, Morgan Rogers, and of course both games for England in the international break. But Daniel Marlon still really to have the opportunity to properly settle in and show what he can do since his move from Borussia Dortmund earlier in the season.
Perfect scenario really now, isn't it, for Unai Emery? Able to make those alterations and changes and rest a few. 3 goals to the good. He knows his team are heading to Wembley. They're heading into the semi-finals of the FA Cup.
Yeah, confirmation of those changes. our camera will take this free kick into Matty Cash. First touch for McGinn. Disappointment of the two legs for Scotland against Greece during the international break in the Nations League, losing the playoff game with defeat in Glasgow in the second leg. Marlon, who came off the bench for the Netherlands the other day. Well, he's got to be happy, hasn't he, Unai Emery, the way his team have performed very professionally here. And now putting the tie beyond reach with 15 minutes to go.
I'll be absolutely delighted. Patient first half, emphatic and ruthless in the second.
Just mentioning a few minutes ago that Ramsey had played well today, and then that really was the cherry on the top of his performance, wasn't it? That surging run, the skill and pace, and the finish as well.
Yeah, great technique. The way he just rolls his defender and gets himself on the front foot, top class.
Villa applying some more pressure here. It's with McGinn inside the box. Now Onana, who just got away from him there, enabling the defender to come in and make the block. And Villa surely will get a free kick there for the foul by Osmaic on Esri Konsa. And Villa have taken it quickly, but the header away from Lewis Gibson, met by Onana. Chad Evans is waiting to come on for Preston as Villa attack once more. Liam Lindsay, I think, as well, is over on the far touchline. Here's Mings.
It's so comfortable now for Aston Villa, able to play at a stroll.
Looking at a first semi-final in the FA Cup for 10 years. 2-1 winners over Liverpool back in 2015, and then heavily beaten by Arsenal in the final. Here's Rashford. Here comes the change, and Emil Rees is being replaced by Ched Evans. Evans, who's the player coach and used almost exclusively in the coaching capacity this season, but he has come off the bench in each of the last 3 FA Cup ties now. And Liam Lindsay also coming on, the central defender, who had played in every minute of the previous 2 rounds before today. Jayden Magoma, Matt, a word about his contribution.
Yeah, I think he's done well. Shown plenty of promise, plenty of pace. Definitely a player with a big future in the game. Flurry of changes now from both sides. I think the game pretty much as good as over, isn't it? Take a miracle for Preston to get back into this one now.
That's Froke Jensen tried to steal a yard or 2 there. And still in conversation with Jacob Ramsey on the far side.
He'd be proud of his team's efforts. They've certainly given this absolutely everything.
Well, held Villa to a 0-0 scoreline for almost an hour, and actually held them at arm's length throughout that first half. Villa didn't really create very much, did they, in terms of clear opportunity in front of goal. Torderson wins it back. Here he is. Little flick forward off the boot of Hughes. There's Onana back helping out, and Cash wins his team a throw. Well, it's not going to get any easier for the Championship side, is it, with Ollie Watkins coming on for the final few minutes shortly. Villa with it all going on now in the spring. The challenge for the European places in the Premier League. There's a slip from Digne into Osmaic. Champions League quarter-final against PSG, and looking set for an FA Cup semi-final at Wembley as well.
It's got the potential for a brilliant finish to the season for Aston Villa. Not just that, you think about their league position as well. They're not a million miles away from the Champions League places. 3 or 4 points, something like that. It's not a lot.
Here's McGinn.
With everybody fit, the squad looking healthy, they'll have a good opportunity to do that.
Here comes Ramsey once more. Rashford wants the pass, which on this occasion doesn't arrive, and Nana. Most of Unai Emery's squad are fit and raring to go after this international break. They've had quite a few injuries during the season, but Ross Barkley, the only one I think unavailable at the moment, but he's not far away. He'll be back in the next week or two.
No, and Disasi obviously can't play today, tied, but other than that, fully fit squad.
It's Ramsey going down after the challenge by Jordan Storey.
That'll be his only worry now, picking up an injury late on in this game. There's been a few robust challenges from the Preston players.
Andres Garcia is going to come on, a Spanish fullback, made his debut for Spain's under-21s during the international break. He'll slot in place of Matty Cash. Garcia, they signed him from Levante in the second tier in Spain in the winter window, and Marcus Rashford makes way. This was a special moment for him, his first goal since his arrival on loan from Manchester United, and then about 3 or 4 minutes later his second from 12 yards to give Aston Villa a 2-0 lead, his first 2 goals for them. And Watkins on for the final few minutes of the game. As Digne sends it across, and Watkins with a chance to score with his very first touch.
Wow, and he should have done. What a ball in. He gets ahead of his defender, stays onside. He just gets a slightest glance on it, a bit like Ezri Konsa in the first half. Any sort of clear contact would have found the ball in the back of the net. What a chance that is, immediately after coming on.
This is a Nana. Yeah, Watkins with the opportunity to recover from what was described as a minor knee knock, which I think kept him out of Thomas Tuchel's first England squad. Villa with just 1 Premier League match in the whole of March. That was on the 8th of March away in London against Brentford. They won by a goal to 0. It was Watkins who scored the only goal of that match. Here comes Kamara now for Villa, in towards Watkins, and Ollie Watkins only just off the bench, puts it wide. Could easily have been 4.
Well, it's ridiculous. Marcus Rashford's got a couple. Ollie Watkins replaces him, and inside 2 minutes he could have had 2 himself. 2 big chances. The header probably the clearer of the 2 opportunities, but this was a good chance as well, and he just drags his shot wide of the post.
A couple of changes coming here with Froke Jensen, one of those going off, and Stefan Tordarsen as well. With Theo Carroll and Theo Mawene coming on. And Theo Carroll, 17-year-old attacking midfielder, making his debut for Preston North End. He's played in the FA Youth Cup this season, and here he is now. What a stage to make your bow.
Yeah, brilliant. That's good from Paul Heckingbottom. Again, beyond them, there's no way they're coming back, but it's just a great taste for young players to get a feel of what it's like to play at this level against players at the top of their game.
Mawene is also 17, and this is only his second appearance. His only appearance before today was 4 minutes against Leicester in the Championship at the back end of last season, so really big day for him as well. Not been the busiest of afternoons for Martinez, has it? I mean, he had that one flying save stroke punch away from the goal in the first half, but not really tested him.
No, I mean, the scoreline says it's been easy for Aston Villa. It's not been easy. It's been a competitive game, and Preston have given plenty of effort in this match, but Aston Villa have by and large kept them at arm's length and restricted them to very few opportunities. They've kept the ball well. They've protected Martinez in the Aston Villa goal. It's been a really professional performance from them. When they've needed to step it up in the second half, they've done it.
By the head of Story, away to the far side. Easy take there for Digne. And Martinez. Another very interesting week for him in the Monumental in Buenos Aires. Big match in a World Cup qualifier. Argentina thumping Brazil 4-1 on Wednesday. They had a win against Uruguay just before that as well. And here he is just a few days later at Deepdale in Lancashire in the quarter-finals of the oldest cup competition of them all.
They certainly are.
Here's one that he prepared earlier.
He was probably hiding that until about the 58th minute when Marcus Rashford opened the scoring.
It was. I think it says up the Villa on the other side, but now he can turn it round. Inside the final 5 minutes in the Deepdale sunshine. Martinez makes the grab. I think the ball had already gone behind before he got his hands on it. Had it. It's Liam Lindsay getting up to head it from the byline area. So we know it's Crystal Palace, Nottingham Forest. Set to be Aston Villa, just the one tie to come a little bit later on. Bournemouth at home to Manchester City. Osmajic. It's Marlon trying to close in on Andrew Hughes. Two deciding to beat the rush there.
Yeah, finding their way home early, beat the traffic.
Yeah, head back towards either to home or the train station. It's about a half-hour walk to Preston train station from Deepdale, past the Tom Finney statue, back into town. Ball in field by Garcia, collected here by Camara. Very nicely done. It's a very assured top-class performance from Boubacar Kamara today in the heart of Villa's midfield. Excellent play by Amadou Onana. Villa threatening again. Here's Digne. 3 inside the penalty area to aim at the moment. Now Ramsey, scorer of the 3rd goal. Onana. Back out with the Belgian international off the boot of McGinn. Villa just managing the play here.
I mean, the game had the potential to be a lot worse actually for Preston. I think Jacob Ramsey scored what, the 71st minute. There was plenty of time left, and actually Ollie Watkins.
Marlon's done really well there.
Ollie Watkins should have scored twice as well. It could have been a lot worse for Preston.
Really strong play by Daniel Marlon. Digne. Get a free kick, Mawene with the foul. reluctant to move back the full distance very quickly. He's helped on his way by Digne. Strong competition in the left full-back position at Villa with Ian Matson there, and Digne's done well to start the majority of the matches. Winnie with the clearance. Well, Preston North End's first FA Cup quarter-final since 1966, when they were beaten by Manchester United, is going to end in defeat today, but they've given a decent account of themselves, and they were right in the match almost for an hour at 0-0. Here's McGinn shielding it brilliantly, and very nearly number 4, and Jacob Ramsey there. Can't quite believe that he didn't sneak that one in.
They penetrated that Preston defence once more. Inches away from getting a fourth.
There's been a good couple of signings there that we saw on the bench there, haven't we? The two loanees, Rashford and Asensio. They've given Villa that extra little bit of quality, haven't they?
It was a good January for them, particularly with the games and fixtures piling up in this second half of the season. Just adding that depth and quality has made a bit difference.
Bit of tidying up to do after the game as Digne sends it into the near post. That'll be a free kick. Interesting to see where he ends up next season.
Yeah, it will. I guess we'll see what happens at the latter stages of this season, how much he contributes to this Aston Villa team, whether Emery decides to make it permanent in the summer, whether he feels as though Aston Villa is the right club for him to continue his progression, or does he go back to Man United? So many questions around his future.
Staying down after the challenge as McGinn just launches it into Watkins. Free kick. Preston's FA Cup run is over. Aston Villa with so much to look forward to, not least a trip to Wembley for the semi-final. You won't have to wait too long to find out who it's against either. The draw coming up after the game. Robbie Brady here for Preston North End, fouled by Garcia. Last few seconds of this FA Cup tie, and in the end Unai Emery's team have got it done, Matt, and it's gone according to the form book.
Yeah, it has, and Aston Villa have shown their quality.
Preston North End's excellent FA Cup run finally comes to an end in their first quarter-final since 1966, but Aston Villa, partly thanks to 2 goals from Marcus Rashford, the other from Jacob Ramsey, are through to their first FA Cup semi-final in a decade. They were patient, they bided their time, and then in the second half, with 2 quick goals either side of the hour mark, accelerated away into the distance to secure their place in the last 4. At Deepdale, it's finished. Preston North End 0, Aston Villa 3.